Hello friends, today we are going to learn about health, food components and the balanced diet. So what is health? Okay, so if we are completely fit physically and mentally, okay, then that condition or that state is called health. Okay, so by physical means our body is fit, and mental means if our brain is fit. Okay, so the state of complete physical and the mental well-being, it is known as health. Okay, so if somebody will ask you what is healthy person, okay, then what you will say? You will say the fit person. Okay, and fits in what term? Fits in term of physical, okay, physically fit or mentally fit. Okay, so the physically fit and the mentally fit person is known as a healthy person. Okay, so how we can achieve a state of health? Okay, so there are basically 5 points to stay healthy. Okay, so first of all, to stay healthy we must eat a balanced diet. Okay, we will learn later in this video that what is balanced diet. Okay, but for now, to remain healthy we should eat the balanced diet. Second, we should protect ourselves from disease. Okay, so we should protect from disease. Some diseases, they are spreading, okay, from one person to another, like common cold. Okay, so we should protect ourselves from disease. Third, we should do the physical activity. Okay, so we should exercise daily. Okay, so this will give us a good health. Okay, the fourth important point for achieving the health is maintaining the hygiene. Okay, so hygiene maintenance. Okay, and the last point to stay healthy is take enough rest. Okay, so resting is the period when our body heal, okay, by itself. So I will just repeat you for you again. In order to be healthy we should eat a balanced diet. Okay, second, we have to protect ourselves from the diseases. Third, we have to do exercise daily so that our body becomes strong. Fourth, we have to maintain hygiene. Okay, and fifth, we have to perform all the daily activity, but we have to take enough rest. Okay, this will allow to heal the body automatically. Okay, so now let's come to the second topic, that is the food component. So now let's talk about the second topic, that is the food component. Okay, so our food, it contain the essential elements. Okay, so the food contain what? It contain essential elements, or we can say the essential substance. Okay, substance says, okay, that our body needs for growth. Okay, so why we need these essential element or substance? Okay, for our body growth. Okay, energy. Okay, repair and overall good health. Okay, so those substances that are provided by the food in order so that our body get energy. Okay, it should grow properly and repair. Okay, and eventually it will lead to our good health, are known as nutrients. Okay, so these essential substances or elements, they are known as, I will write it here, nutrients. Nutrients. Okay, so student, what is nutrient? Nutrients are the substances in food that our body need for growth, energy, repair and overall good health. Okay, so why these nutrients are important? Because these nutrients, They will provide energy for daily activities like playing, studying and moving. Okay, it will help our body to grow and develop. It will help repair the damaged tissue. Okay, and it will also keep our body functioning properly and protect us from diseases. Okay, so now let's move on to the second topic, the food components. Okay, so I already told you about the food component. Okay, so now I will draw it for you so that you understand it well. Okay, so our food component, there are 5 main components of our food. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. First, we have the macronutrient. Okay, so these nutrients we need in very large quantity. Okay, macro means large. Okay, then the food consists of nutrients that are needed by body in a very less amount. Okay, so it is known as less. So these nutrients are known as micronutrients. Okay, so there are 2 micronutrients, okay, and 3 macronutrients. So let's first write the macronutrients. So the first macronutrient is carbohydrate. Okay, okay, the first one. The second macronutrient is fats, and the third is protein. Okay, so the carbohydrate and the fat, okay, they are energy giving food. Okay, so if we want to get instant energy, so we have to eat more carbohydrate and fats. So these are energy giving food. Okay, and the protein, the third macronutrient, it is known as bodybuilding food. Okay, so usually the bodybuilders, okay, they will eat more of the protein in their diet. Okay, so these 3 are the macronutrients. Now coming on to the micronutrients. So the micronutrients are of 2 types. Okay, vitamins and minerals. Okay, so I will repeat again, students. There are 3 types of macronutrient, that is carbohydrate, fats, protein. They are required in a large amount by our body. Okay, and the carbohydrate and fats, they are energy giving food. They are known as energy giving food because they give energy. And the protein macronutrient is required for bodybuilding. Okay, so it is known as bodybuilding food. Now there are certain some micronutrients that we need in very less quantity. Okay, so but they are very essential for overall human health being. Okay, so these macronutrients are vitamins and the minerals. Okay, in addition to the macro and micronutrients, our food also consists of water and roughages. Okay, okay, so basically these are the our food components. I hope it is clear to you. Now we should understand that our food should contain these components in a right proportion so that we stay healthy. Okay, so now let's talk about each component one by one. Okay, so let's first talk about the carbohydrate. So I already told you that carbohydrate is energy giving food because it gives us energy. Okay, it is like a fuel of our body that help us keep going. Okay, so the main sources of the carbohydrate are cereals, okay, fruits, corn, potato, Okay, honey. So these are few example of carbohydrate rich food. Okay, so why do we need, student, carbohydrate? We need carbohydrate to do the physical work. Okay, so example is, suppose you have to play in the evening, then you have to eat the carbohydrate rich diet. That is like example rice. You have to eat rice for the lunch so that it will give you energy to play in the evening. Okay, so basically carbohydrates, there are two types of carbohydrates. Okay, these two types are sugar and starch. Okay, so we have to get carbohydrate from our food, and these are the examples. We have to eat either fruits, corn, potato, honey, cereals. Okay, we have to include these foods in our diet. Okay, and eating carbohydrate, okay, it will give energy. For what we need energy? To do physical work. Okay, so next comes the fats. Okay, so fat is also the energy giving food. Okay, but the thing about fat is it is more energy provider than carbohydrate. Okay, so yeah, okay, so it has more energy. Okay, in addition to providing the energy, the fat, it will also help in the absorption of certain vitamins. Okay, so now let's talk about the sources. So from where we can get the fat in our food? So we have to take milk and milk products. Okay, like example, we can take oil, we can take milk, we can take cheese. Okay, we can eat butter, we can take cream. Okay, so these are all example of the fat. Okay, but student, we have to remember that excess fat is very harmful and it can make us obese or fat. Okay, so obesity, it will lead to high risk of diseases like diabetes and heart diseases. So our diet should be balanced. Okay, there should be adequate amount of fat but not in the excess quantity. Okay, so the last micronutrient is protein. Okay, so we already know that protein is a bodybuilding food. Okay, and it is required for repairing the body tissue also. Okay, so it's a building block. Okay, of our body. So where do we get the protein? We get it from the animals, and we also get the protein from the plants. Okay, so from animals, from where do we get the protein? We get it from meat. Okay, egg, fish, etc. Okay, and from the plant sources, if we take pulses, nuts, seeds, okay, then we will get the enough protein in our diet. Okay, now let's talk about the micronutrient. So the micronutrient, I already told you there are two types of micronutrient, vitamins and minerals. So let's quickly discuss the vitamins. So it regulates our various body function. Okay, it boosts our immune system. So whenever you are sick, you will go to doctor, so they will give you vitamin tablets. Okay, why? Because it will boost our immune system and it keeps us healthy. Okay, so now there are so many different types of vitamins. Okay, so first of all, I will tell you the sources of the vitamins. So we have to take fruits, eggs, fishes, and green leafy vegetables. Okay, so if we are taking these food in our diet, then no need to take the additional medicine of antivitamin tablets. Okay, so there are different kinds of vitamin, like vitamin A, that is good for your eyesight, and you get it from carrot and spinach. Okay, then there is vitamin C, which help us to fight infection, and you can get vitamin C by eating citrus fruit like orange and lemon. Then there is a vitamin D, which is essential for your strong bones, and we can get it from the sunlight and fortified milk. Okay, then there is vitamin B12 complex. Okay, so vitamin B complex, so this vitamin, it helps in energy release, and we can get it from eating whole grains and eggs. So the next is mineral. Okay, the fifth component of our food. So mineral, it help regulate the body process. Okay, so they regulate body processes. Okay, and they are important for building strong bones and teeth, and they can carry the oxygen and nerve function. Okay, so there are some important minerals like iron, calcium, iodine, and phosphorus. Okay, so this calcium, it is important for our strong bones and teeth, and we can get it from milk, dairy product, and leafy greens. Okay, the iron, we can get it from spinach and the meat. Okay, so iron help in carrying the oxygen in the blood. This iodine we are getting from the iodized salt and the seafood, and it is important for the proper thyroid function. Okay, so this is all about our food component, but just keep in your mind that the vitamins and the mineral, okay, together they are called as protective nutrients. Okay, because they protect our body from various diseases. Okay, now in addition to these nutrients, our food consists of the sixth component, that is the roughages. So what is roughages? Roughages are dietary fiber. Okay, so the main function of the dietary fibers, that is the roughages, is that it helps in digestion. Okay, okay, so it helps with the digestion and it prevents the constipation. How? It will add bulk to our food. So what are the sources of the roughages? So the whole grain, fruits with the skin, like example apple, vegetables, okay, beans and lentils. Okay, so these are the few example of the food containing the dietary fiber. Okay, for example, eating an apple with its skin, it will provide fiber, okay, that will help in smooth bowel movement. Okay, understand? So the last component of our food is water. So water, the main function is that water, we all know, it is essential for almost all the body function. Okay, including transporting nutrients, regulating the body temperature, and removing waste through sweat and urine. Okay, so what are the sources of water? It's drinking water, and we can take other beverages also. Okay, so how water will help us? It will remove toxic waste, okay, by sweat or urine. Okay, so we have to drink lots of water. Okay, we can also take it in the form of beverages like juices, tea, etc. Okay, so drinking water throughout the day, it will keep you hydrated and help your body work properly. Okay, so now let's talk about the balanced diet. The balanced diet is the one that contain all the necessary nutrient. Okay, it contain all the necessary nutrient in the right amount. Okay, this is very important, that their nutrient should be in the right amount. Okay, if I already told you, if you eat more fat, then there is a risk of getting obese. Okay, and this will lead to the health problem. Okay, eating more carbohydrate is also not very good for the skin, right? So the food should be in a designed in a such way that it contains the necessary nutrient in the right amount. Okay, so what is the importance of eating the balanced diet? If you ask yourself why I have to eat the balanced diet, because it will ensure that our body gets everything. Okay, so I already told you our body gets nutrient, enough nutrient. Okay, to function optimally. And how our body is functioning, we have to grow. Okay, and stay healthy. So the our food should contain all the necessary macronutrient, example carbohydrate, fats, protein, the micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. And in addition to that, the food should also contains the roughages and the water, okay, in the right amount. So how to achieve? Okay, so if you ask how I can get the balanced diet, then include variety of food in your life diet. Okay, so include variety of food in your meal. Okay, in your daily meal. So suppose you can take example, you can take milk in a day, you can take a milk, you can also take fruits at different interval, you can eat the cereals. Okay, you can take the meat also, egg also. Okay, and if you are vegetarian, then you can take vegetables. Okay, so you have to design your diet so that you have to take different kinds of food to meet your nutrient requirement. Okay, so I will conclude this chapter here. Okay, so what we learn, student, in this lecture, that we understand that different components of food and their function, it help us to make more informed choices about what we eat. So we learn about choices of food. Okay, so if we know the importance of the various component food, what it contains, the food, what nutrient it contains, then we can make appropriate choices, right? We learned that balanced diet is very crucial. Okay, to stay healthy. And the third and the last important thing, we have to eat variety of food. Okay, okay, so this is all in this video. Thank you for watching the video.